hands, do all this, testing.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Can I put in earplugs? Okay. Okay. Good evening, y'all. My name is Autumn Gallagher. Horses have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. From pony rides to college rodeo, my family has made numerous sacrifices to allow me to follow this passion. If you're not involved in the horse industry, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The cheapest day is when you buy the horse. Every person, child to adult, uses a breast collar, headstall, and halter on a day-to-day basis. A typical tack set involves a headstall and a breast collar. The cheapest day is when you buy the horse. Every person, child to adult, uses a breast collar, headstall, on a day-to-day basis. I would just grab there's these. I would grab these. Is that how you would want it? Yeah. Or do you want? You stay in the middle.
Yeah. These are our halter colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a moment. 9 out of 10 elementary students are subjected to. Huh? Oh, wait. Oh, I got it. My name is Heaven Thomas. And I just start off? Okay. My name is Heaven Thomas. 9 out of 10 elementary students are subjected to physical or mental bullying by their peers. 6 out of 10 students have been bullied themselves. Through observation, students are unmotivated to go to school due to bullying, unqualified teachers, and a lack of support. Over the last 2 years, Commerce ISD has floated between a C and D overall letter grade with no alternative to public schools, as in charter, private, magnet, or homeschool. In Texas, homeschool has risen from 300,000 students in 2010 to more than 500,000 students in 2017. We want to help our students. With your help, I am wanting to start a homeschool co-op in Commerce, Texas, where we provide well-educated teachers and college students to foster a desire for our students to want to learn. Dang, I forgot. Allowing our young students to feel loved, respected, and secure when reaching new heights. I am asking for $5,000 to travel to New York, Ohio, and Fort Worth, Texas, so that I can attend 3 of the 7 biggest homeschool co-op conventions in the nation. This will give me the opportunity to choose the best curriculum, how to run a homeschool co-op, and how to teach effectively and efficiently. Thank you. Oh, I forgot.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey May. My passion is cycling. Did you know there's 261 professional cycling teams in the world, and only 9 are from the United States? Did you know that these teams run on a budget of $100,000 to $40 million a year, but for some reason they're not continuing every year? I believe this is due to poor management and lack of marketing. These companies are not seeing a return on their investment. I raced professionally for 4 years in 28 different countries around the world. I have seen and been affected by these poor practices. If you don't like the way something's done, do it yourself. And that's what I'm doing. I want to give back to these companies for their investment that they're investing in me. So, oh, fuck. I know that. I forgot. All right. Investment. For example, I was able to connect Kroger grocery stores and Sunny Crunch, a food product company, together. Now Sunny Crunch is in all of Kroger's grocery stores in the States. Next, I want to film the team around the world in all the different countries so the audience can see what we're doing at these different races. I don't need your financial help. I just need your insight, your guidance, and your connection. Thank you.
You feel it? Feel the power.
Yes, I feel it. Hi, my name is Jason Harvey, and I recently started a startup tech company called Arc Technology. I feel it. Hi, my name is Jason Harvey, and I recently started a startup tech company called Arc Technology. Hi, my name is Jason Harvey, and I recently started a startup tech company called. Now, in order to solve this problem, I'm coming out with a new product called CloudX. And essentially, this product is like Google Drive and Microsoft Dropbox, except a physical copy of it. You can see where your files are going, and you can actually determine if they're safe or not. And we're currently asking for $500 to be able to learn more about the consumer base in technology. Thank you.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what's a video worth? Everything, as it turns out. If your customer loses his or her credit card, it will take them an average of 24 hours before they realize that it's gone. If they lose their cell phone, 12 minutes. This is how we're spending our time these days, folks. And this is how we're spending our money. So this is where you need to be. And let me tell you something. Video generates 1,200% more shares than pictures and text combined. So why aren't you using this technology? It's right there in your pocket. Your smartphone can create videos that will make you unforgettable in seconds. But it's not that easy, is it? What kind of video should you make? How long should it be? What are the latest trends? On and on. It becomes a guessing game, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing the Soul Video app, your one-stop shop for creating, editing, and publishing short videos that will put you in the spotlight and keep you there. What are your objectives? What business goals do you have? What demographics are you trying to reach? It's that simple. Just tell these things to the app and it will feed you ideas for what video to shoot, how to shoot it, every step of the way. In just a few minutes, you will become unforgettable. Because it doesn't matter whether you're a dentist or a banker or you have a home healthcare service or you just started a coffee company. If you're not seen, you're invisible and you won't go to the next level. What if you weren't afraid to use your own phone to share the message that you know the world needs to hear? It's that simple, or at least it should be. My plan in order to research the solution to this problem is to go to the Digital Summit Conference in April of 2020 in order to learn the latest trends, my competition, how to network, and how to build this app. This is where the best brains from brands like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter will be, and they'll be exchanging ideas, and I'll get to shake those hands. I'll be right at the center of what's happening in this day and age in digital marketing. That will allow me to put this technology in your hands and make the powerful tool of video as simple as it should be. Thank you. I forgot to ask. I need $3,000, but I'll get that. Okay, here we go.
rest of that will be used in research and to create a final design for the prototype. And the other 2,000 will be used to test out different plastic materials to create the final prototype. Thank you. Any questions for me tonight? Yes. Oh, right beside me. You stay right beside me and exit out. I don't know, but that's a good idea. Next. Ginso, inside? Inside right now? I'm not serious. I'm glad you have. Oh, I was waiting on.
Also, wonderful people that I love. Don't forget that because of the live stream, you have to speak in the mic. So if we can't hear you in the mic, you can't be heard in the live stream. So try to keep the microphone about here, like, because it'll fall and you can kind of hear it. But you, wonderful people that I love. Don't forget that because of the live stream, you have to speak in the mic. So if we can't hear you, remember, you can't be heard in the live stream. So try to keep the microphone about here.
In 2010. In 2010. In 2010.
Secretary Rebecca Gray. Thank you guys, like I said, so much for coming. We truly appreciate those of you at home watching us. Aurora stands for the goddess of dawn, and we are the dawn of new ideas. We're the doers here on campus. Our mission here is to innovate, inspire, and impact our community. And we truly value that. And every day, every Thursday when we meet, we truly try to innovate, inspire, and impact our community. Our mission
What
here
we
is
do
to
is not
innovate,
just talking,
inspire,
it's walking,
and
right?
impact
So we
our
appreciate
community.
you guys because
And we truly value that.
could not do it without
And every
you.
day, every
We want to
Thursday
thank
when
first
we
and
meet,
foremost
we
Dr.
truly
Rune, the president
try
of our campus,
to
for
innovate,
making this
inspire,
possible,
and impact our
giving us the
communities.
resources.
Our
Again, wouldn't be
mission
possible
here is
without
to
you. It's not
innovate,
just talking,
inspire,
Dr.
and
Russell,
impact
so
our
we appreciate
community.
you guys.
And we truly value that.
And
every
last
day,
but
every
we want to
Thursday
thank
when
first
we
and
meet,
foremost
we
Dr.
truly
Mario
try
Hayek, the director
to
of this
innovate,
program,
inspire, and
along
impact
with
our
just the
community.
fire and the passion that keeps us going when we think that it isn't possible. He says, oh yeah, it's possible, and I'm going to show you.
And we truly value that.
So thank you guys for driving out here. Some of you guys come all the way out from Commerce, the director of this program, along with just fire and the passion that keeps us going when we think that it is possible. He says, oh yeah, it's possible, and I'm going to show you.
And we truly value that.
So thank you guys for driving out here. Some of you guys come all the way out from Commerce, the director. And after that, we have 2 minutes of question fire and the passion that keeps us going. So what we're going to do is possible. You guys said, oh yeah, it's possible, and I'm going to show you. I speak. So thank you guys to those of you who are at the mentorship event that we held just an after that event in October. We appreciate those of you who were there, and again to those who are streaming with us on live stream, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, this has only been a few months that we've been doing this as Aurora, and so it's a brand new project, and you're part of something that's about to appreciate those of you who are there, and again to those who are in the way streaming with us on live stream, we appreciate you guys tuning in. So first, I wanted to go ahead and introduce our first student, whose name is Autumn Gallagher, to the stage. She's going to tell us about live stream. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. So first, I wanted to go ahead and introduce. I'm going to wait for them to grab a couple things for me. Gallagher to the stage. She's going to tell us about live stream. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. So first, I wanted to go ahead and introduce. I'm going to wait for them to grab a couple things for me. Gallagher to the stage. She's going to tell us about live stream. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. So first, I wanted to go ahead and introduce. I'm going to wait for them to grab a couple things for me. Gallagher to the stage. So real quick, before we get started, I know you guys are so excited, and we're sorry to keep the suspense going. We wanted to introduce our sponsors of tonight's event, who wanted to say a few words just to introduce everybody. Thank you. So real quick, before we get started, I know you guys are so excited. We're sorry to keep the suspense going.
Sorry to interrupt the start of the
sponsors
presentation, but
event,
you know,
who
no
wanted to say a few
presentation can
words
take
just to
place
introduce
without a
everybody.
word from the sponsors. So here at Atmos Energy, we're very, very happy to welcome you tonight. The building that you're
Sorry to keep the
in
suspense
is
going.
the Tranquil
Sorry to
Center
interrupt
for
the start of the presentation,
preparation.
and
And
so
so we welcome learning, training, innovation. So and we're just very grateful to have you here, and we appreciate the partnership that we have had with A&M Commerce through the years. I'm Jan Ross, I'm Manager of Public Affairs. So this is Beth TAMU-C, she's Manager of Public Affairs in Commerce, and we're just very grateful to have you. And our special guest tonight is Kim Newland, and I invited her because she is a Texas A&M grad from Commerce. She's Manager of Public Affairs in Commerce. Okay, so it's Kim Newland, and I invited her because she is a Texas A&M. I really would like to give them a few words, some inspiration, and okay, so.
Well, I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight, and I won't go too long, but I do want to say I'm in the organizational leadership program, and that just recently moved under the College of Innovation and Design. And when that excited change happened, I was a little bit puzzled at first. I was thinking, well, how does that really I do want to say that it didn't take me long as I put together some pieces to realize how important innovative thinking is in a leadership role and to our organization to help us move into the future. So what you guys are doing here tonight is amazing, and you should be very proud of your accomplishments and what you're going to present, and just stay the course. My path was a little bit less than traditional, but I am, crossing that finish line, and encourage you to do that as well. And I know that you'll have bright accomplishments in what you're going to present. Tack is a little bit less than traditional.
So welcome. We're
But I
here if you
am,
need us for
you know,
anything.
crossing that finish line, and I encourage you to do that as well. And I know that you'll have bright accomplishments in what you're going to.
Before we get all the way started, I hope you guys came ready to eat. We do have some amazing food at you guys' disposal over there, and so we'd like you guys to take the time to go and get a plate to eat if you guys would like to.
Accomplishments in what you're.
Well, if you guys want to eat first, that's totally fine. And then once everybody's settled back down, we should start. I feel like that would make everybody more happy. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys, good evening, y'all. How's everybody doing? Is everything good? Everyone happy? Okay, perfect. My name is Autumn Gallagher. Horses have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. From pony rides to college rodeo, my parents have made numerous sacrifices to allow me to follow my passion. If you're not involved in the horse industry, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? The cheapest day is when you buy the horse. Every person, child or adult, uses a breast collar, a head stall, and a halter on a day-to-day basis. But taste and styles change, and you're stuck with that same set for as long as you own it. A typical Tack set includes a breast collar and a head stall, but can cost you upwards of $650. That's insane. Can you imagine being a parent and not being able to put a smile on your child's face due to financial burdens? I have felt that pain, and therefore, we created a solution, Smart Tack. Smart Tack is a line of interchangeable breast collars, head stalls, and halters that allow you to change your look in a matter of seconds for a lot less money than our competitors. We developed this project in 2018, and after numerous prototypes, launched our first line of breast collars in June of 2019. Since then, we have sold about $4,000 in breast collars alone and have launched head stalls and halters this month. Here's my dilemma. I'm stuck in a hole. All of the money that we are making is going straight back into production, and making these out of our garage is no longer working. We have had 2 major tack stores reach out to us to want to sell our product in their stores, but with our economies to scale now, it's just not feasible. Therefore, I am asking for $3,000 to help me begin making the first steps into mass production and commercializing my business. In February of 2020, there is a small business conference in New Orleans, Louisiana, that I'm very interested in going into that will help me begin making the transition from manufacturing in my garage to mass production. My goal here is to bring this to every person in the horse industry, all the little girls that have wanted something but their parents can't afford it. I am passionate about helping those that are like myself, but it's only possible with your help. Thank you.
Wasn't that great? So we're going to have 2 minutes of questions. If you'll just identify yourself with a hand in the air, and she'll be more than willing to answer any questions you have at the moment.
When is the conference in New Orleans?
It's in February of 2020, sir. It's February 14th through the 16th, I think.
How would you get there?
Without the mic, the live stream won't capture the voices.
I said, how would you get there?
The cost, the $3,000 that I'm asking for would cover my travel expenses, including airplane, hotel, all of that. And then I'd want to use a little bit of the money that I have left over to start that mass production process.
Okay.
Another question?
Regarding your price points, you mentioned $650 as the going rate in general. So where's your price?
So my products, the breast collars, we sell.
I'm sorry.
My price point, we sell our breast collars at $225. All of the faces, which are the interchangeable pieces, those we sell from $25 to $40 depending on which one. So our price point right now being sold at $225, and it's costing us to make the breast collars at about $80. So we are only ordering 25 at a time at that price. We want to get that price down lower so we're able to wholesale to a tack store. The tack stores don't want to spend more than about $100 on a product that they sell in their store.
Mic check, mic check. We're good? Another question. All right, let's thank Autumn. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Next up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Harvey, and I have recently made a startup called ARC Technology. Now, let me begin and ask you a question. Do you really trust big companies like Google and Microsoft with your data? Now, let me give you a fact. Did you know that 500 million personal records are hacked or stolen every year? And of that 500 million, 40% of that comes from hacking like Google and Microsoft and other big companies. Now let me ask you again, do you really trust these guys? Now, my solution to this is that my company is making a project called CloudX. Now, essentially, it is a portable server. So to give you a better retrospect, it's kind of like Google Drive or Microsoft Dropbox. But the difference between mine and them is it's portable, it's physical. You can see where your files are going. Now, I'm currently seeking $500 to be able to go to a conference in January, and this would be able to me to learn more about the consumer base who buys technology like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll have some more time for questions, please.
Hey, so what do you imagine the use case will be, especially as a lot of people are moving towards more of the cloud-based software and solution? What use case do you see for this specifically on the localized level?
So basically on the localized level, so this already exists, but the main issue with all these other products is they're more expensive, they're not portable, they're bulky, and they're not really easy to use. And so we're bringing down the price, we're trying to figure out how to bring down the price, and transferring this into terms for local-based people is trying to get them to understand how their data is actually being used.
Cool. Thank you. Do we have a couple more questions?
So what will you be doing that will make this more secure than the other companies?
So with my device we're actually doing a physical-based encryption in our own hardware, and we've also found a new method for our software that we're designing for a better encryption.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you. And next up, we have Jeffrey.
How are y'all doing today? Hello, my name is Jeffrey May. My passion is cycling. Did you know there's 261 professional cycling teams in the world, but only 9 are from the United States? Did you know these teams run on a budget of $100,000 to $40 million a year, but for some reason they're not continuing? Why is this? I believe this is due to poor management and lack of marketing that they're doing. Their sponsors are not seeing a return in their investment. I raced professionally for 4 years in 28 different countries around the world. I've seen and been affected by these poor practices. If you don't like the way something's done, do it yourself, and that's what I'm doing. I want to change the way sponsors or cycling sponsors. I want to be able to get back to the sponsors so they get a return on their investment. For example, I have 2 sponsors, Kroger Grocery Stores and Sunny Crunch. Being able to get Sunny Crunch's product into Kroger stores would be huge, and that's what I'm doing. A second example, having cameras go with us all around the world, getting the audience involved in what we're doing in the different countries that we raced in. I don't need any financial support. I just need your insight, your guidance, and your connections. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I mean, that's amazing. Questions? Uh-oh.
So how much have you raised so far, and how'd you do it?
So far, I raised about $100,000 50,000 going to the team, and 50,000 going towards the event that we are putting on in Prosper.
I have a reason for asking you this. Were you nervous giving that presentation?
As you can tell, probably a little bit.
Okay, well,
I made a B in speech, sorry.
Okay. Okay, well, let me tell you this, and the only reason I have to say it is because it's true. You don't ever need to be nervous again. You charmed everybody in here.
Thank you. Dr. Hyatt wants to.
I want to understand the secret sauce. So how is it that you raised $100,000?
So what I did was, as a professional cyclist, I got sick this year with mono, and I was sitting in bed. So I was thinking, one of these teams in McKinney had a sponsor, Kroger. And, you know, I work at Aerobic Water in Greenville, and we got bought out. So this guy was getting connected with Sunny Crunch. So I was like, if I could get my sponsor of the team that we have, Kroger, and these two together, you know, maybe I could raise money for my team, give them an incentive. Because, like, most of the time, sponsors that give money in cycling, they don't really get a return on their investment. And if I could give them a return or a profit, of course they're going to give my team money.
Man. Well, are there any more questions? Let's thank Jeffrey then, man.
Thank you all.
Next up, we have Heaven.
How you doing? I'm Heaven Thomas. 9 out of 10 students, 9 out of 10 elementary students are subjected to physical and mental bullying by their peers. 6 out of 10 students are bullied themselves. Through observation, students become unmotivated to go to school due to bullying, unqualified teachers, and a lack of support. Over the last 2 years, Commerce ISD has floated between a C and D overall letter grade, with no alternative to public schools, as in charter, private, magnet, or homeschool. In Texas, homeschool has risen from 300,000 students in 2010 to more than 5,000 students in 2017. We want to help our students, so I'm creating a homeschool co-op in Commerce, Texas, where we are providing well-educated teachers and college students to foster a desire in our young students to learn, allowing our young students to feel loved, respected, and secure when reaching new heights. I'm asking for $5,000 to travel to New York and Fort Worth, Texas, and Ohio to to go to 3 of the 7 biggest homeschool conventions in the nation. This will allow me to understand how to choose the best curriculum, how to run a homeschool co-op, and how to teach effectively and efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heaven. Does the crowd have any questions?
It's not a question. It's I'm one of those mothers, so I can confirm what you're saying, even though we've never spoken. My daughter, Sophia, she was taken out of school for all those reasons, and she's being homeschooled. So I would love to see a homeschool in Commerce because we need it. The closest one is 30 minutes away.
Thank you for that.
First of all, what is a co-op? And second of all, is there any evidence that they're successful in terms of education and bullying issues?
Okay, so a co-op is basically where a group of homeschool children get together and their parents get together and they have, they basically teach their kids. So one parent might be stronger in another subject than the other. That's basically what a co-op is. As far as it's showing different statics, students who are homeschooled, they have more life skills than public school students. They actually learn a little more at different levels. They learn a little differently, so it gives them the opportunity to learn in the way that they learn best. Whereas in public school, a teacher is teaching you, and at homeschool, if you're a more hands-on person, basically you're getting more hands-on than a lecture.
Any other questions? If not, let's welcome up thank Kevin for her awesome presentation, and welcome up Rebecca.
Thanks again, everybody, for coming tonight. We just really appreciate it. If at any point you want more food, feel free to get up, get some more. Okay, so if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what's a video worth? Everything, as it turns out. If your customer loses his or her credit card, this is on, right? If your customer loses, hold on. If they lose their credit card, it takes them an average of 24 hours before they realize that it's gone. Now, if they lose their cell phone, 12 minutes. Where's my phone? Where is it? I can't do anything without it. This is how we're spending our time these days, folks, and this is how we're spending our money. So this is where you need to be, if you're not already. Now, let me tell you something. Video generates 1,200% more shares than pictures and text combined. So why aren't you using this technology like you could be? It's right there in your pocket. Your smartphone can create videos that will make you unforgettable in seconds. But it's not that easy, is it? What kind of video should you make? What are the latest trends? How long should these videos even be? It becomes a guessing game with question after question, but it doesn't have to be anymore. Introducing the Soul Video app. This is your one-stop shop for creating, editing, and publishing videos that will put you in the spotlight and keep you there. What are your objectives, your business goals? What demographics are you trying to reach? You already know these things, so tell Soul, and it will generate ideas for the kinds of videos you can produce, how you can produce them, where to do them, how to shoot them, how to light them, every step of the process, making it simple and just a few minutes away from you reaching your customers in a way that they can relate to. Because whether you're a dentist or you have a home healthcare service or you just started a coffee company or you're a banker or you've been 30 years in your profession, it doesn't matter. You don't have time to be creative. You've got things to do. So let Soul be creative for you. What if you weren't afraid to use your phone for the message that you know the world needs to hear? So in order to solve the problem, I've researched the problem a lot, and I need to research the solution a lot more. And my plan is to go to the Digital Summit Conference in April of 2020. This is the ideal spot to learn about the trends, the competition, how to network with people who are in this field, and finally the technicalities of building an app like this. The best brains behind Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter will all be there, and they'll all be exchanging ideas. And I'll be at the heart of that, shaking their hands and learning how to put this technology in your hands and how to make the powerful tool of video as simple as it should be. In order to do that, I'm asking for $3,000 because, as you know, I can't do it without you. Thank you.
Testing. I got an upgrade, guys. All right. Do we have questions for Rebecca?
All right, so my understanding is there's a ton of apps out there that do things that are similar to this. What's the difference with your app? I mean, why are you unique? What's your competitive advantage, differentiation?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not out to make another video editing app because every 10-year-old already has one of those, and so if you want one, just ask your son or daughter. But I'm not out to get your filters on your phone, your music on your phone, and just leave it at that, right? Because that assumes you already know what kind of video to shoot. You already have the record button in your hand and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get some footage of this, this, and this, and then I'm gonna edit it. And that's what those apps are for. My app starts from scratch and helps you with your needs. Because you may not know the first thing about shooting a video, but this app does. It uses data analysis, it analyzes the trends, and it says, okay, based on your industry and what you're looking to do with this video, we can feed you ideas for what to shoot, and it will lead you through the angle, the lighting, the music, and everything, so that even if you've never touched a phone before, you can make it. You can make yourself a professional, essentially. Hello.
Another question.
I just want to reinforce what Jennifer said. This is my friend Herb Culp. He owns an architectural metal company. And some time ago, we started we didn't know anything about videos, but we started doing explanatory and endorsement videos, and we got to know Jennifer, and she's just so right. It's just been so much fun and done things we didn't expect, and we've hired her for a project, and I don't know anybody could be nicer. But we agree so much with what she said that it just lends a freshness to your business.
Thank you.
Other questions? Let's thank Rebecca so much. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Mic check, mic check.
Perfect. Let's welcome up Amada.
Awesome. Okay, so that's too much pressure going after Rebecca. That's an amazing presentation. So, good evening. My name is Amada Almanza. So, nearly 100,000 non-U.S. citizens graduate from high schools each year. Unfortunately, none of them are eligible for federal financial aid, and very few universities offers them any type of financial support. And only 17 states offers them in-state tuition. This is a problem, well, at least for two reasons. One, this impacts them financially and psychologically. Two, this makes a huge impact in our economy. Non-U.S. citizens pay more than $11 billion in taxes locally and in-state each year. So I came across a quote from Arthur Levine, and I would like to share it with you tonight. A new majority of America is coming. We endanger ourselves, risk our prosperity and economic development when a group that will become more prominent and dominant is so far behind. So to address this issue, I would like to create a nonprofit organization to help the students find a financial support. In order to do this, I would need to do the following. 1, learn more about immigration issues and laws. 2, learn more about nonprofits. And 3, develop a stronger Latino and donor network. In order to do this, I would need $2,000 to go to the largest Latino conference in California to develop the skills I need and create that connection. And with you, it's possible.
Thank you, Amada. Thank you so much. Does anybody have questions for Amada? There was a little switch. I'm Ashton.
Hi there. So your organization will essentially become a FAFSA for non-documented people or illegal students or just people that aren't U.S. citizens?
So not a FAFSA, but I'm trying to create scholarships for them. So to be able to create the scholarships, I will need to attend this conference to be able to learn how to start these scholarships.
But in the end, that's what your organization would be doing, though, is giving away money to students that don't qualify through FAFSA.
Through
correct?
FAFSA, yes.
Okay, just to be clear. Okay, awesome.
Anybody else?
What is the criteria for qualifying for the scholarship?
For these scholarships, so I want to continue doing my research on what other scholarships require. That way I can make a scholarship that's inclusive and fair for these students. So I will continue doing my research to determine that.
Anybody else? Time for one more. I was in front of the camera, sorry guys. Okay, well thank you, Amada.
Somebody's going to introduce me?
This is Sash. Sorry, guys.
Hello? Hello, my name is Sachit Chaligan, and I'm a creator of Easy Slide. Do you know how many potato chips are sold in America every day? A lot. According to the statistics done in 2018, 281 million Americans consume chips every year. 50 million of that consume Pringle, landing Pringle on the 4th most consumed chips in America. But there is a problem with Pringle, and we all know it. Let's all imagine we have a Pringle can in our hand right now. It's very hard to consume, isn't it? Your 2 fingers doesn't reach all the way to the bottom, and your hand cannot fit in there. Only other way to get it is to tilt the can. But what happens when you tilt the can? The crumbs falls all over the floor. There has to be a solution, right? Pringle lovers everywhere have been struggling with this for years. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I come in. Introducing Easy Slide. It's a long, circular, plastic sleeve that goes around the Pringle can, replacing the cap. It has a semicircle hole cut out for the easy access of the chips. After the sleeve is on, all you have to do is pull the sleeve, tilt the can, and enjoy the chips. But to advance my prototype, I need your help. That is why I'm requesting $4,000. $2,000 of that will be used to research and make a final design for the prototype. And the other $2,000 will be used to test out different materials to create one solid final prototype. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sash. Thank you, thank you. Does anybody have questions?
All right, I have 2 questions. First of all, do you have an estimation of how much the cost would be to manufacture each one? And second, how much do you think you could sell each of these plastic tubes for?
Well, it's going to be made out of polymer, so it's going to be very cheap if we mass produce them. I'm assuming 18 cents per sleeve. And what was your other question?
How much do you think you might be able to sell each one for?
Well, there are 50 million Americans consuming these chips. So, and they all struggle with this. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people buying this. How much?
What would the cost be per sleeve?
Oh, each? Since we're producing it for such a cheap cost, we have to sell it at that too, so retailers and online stores would buy that. So it would be, or we can sell it online stores either way. And it would be around $2.99. Well, that will be for the retail people. We will sell them at $1 each.
Does anybody else have questions?
Your use of humor was just perfect. And your beautiful magic assistant was just extraordinary.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody else? Okay, well, thank you, Sash.
Thank you.
Please welcome Polka.
Got it?
Yeah. Let me just act like I know what I'm doing. Hello? Okay. Good evening. My name is Alexandra Cox, and I'm the CEO and the founder of Polka's Practice. At the age of 17, I had the honor to attend Texas A&M University Commerce. But unfortunately, my mother had a stroke the day before my college classes started. She was left paralyzed and talking like a toddler in the ER room. And I was left raising my sister, working full-time, being a full-time college student, and take care of the college financial responsibilities back home. When I looked around the campus, I realized students my age did not know how to do the things that I was having to do. I went back home that summer, and I saved up all my money from working at Domino's. In December 2017, I was able to found Polka's Practice. Polka's Practice is an organization that teaches students how to cook, how to sew, how to file taxes, how to build credit, and how to buy homes, and many other life skills that we may need after we graduate. In a semester span, I was able to help 10 college students develop their life skills and give out 3 mutual fund scholarships with my own funding. Today, I'm coming to you to ask you to help me invest in the next generation. I'm asking for $5,000 to go to other universities, study their students, study their needs, and implement this organization at their campus. You have the ability to help me change the lives of the next generation forever. Thank you.
Amazing. I need to join that. I don't know how to do stuff. Does anybody have questions?
So with the students that you've had so far in the program, what's been like the success rate for those students? Like how have you measured that the program is working?
Okay. Every student has graduated from college that we're on track to graduating, and we have a 100% retention rate. So every student that goes in the program also returns back for the next year.
Do you mentor the students themselves, or how do you implement this and remain a student yourself?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I do mentor. I tell them I'm a resource for them anytime and any way, but I go out and I reach the professionals. So I spend a lot of time on feet, walking and introducing myself, trying to get professionals to implement this. So for instance, I had a Moving On Up event for the students to attend, and I had realtors come in and teach the students how to buy a house, and I also had professional tax assessors come in and teach us how to file taxes at the university.
Have you gotten the opportunity to go to any other universities and ask different students if they would want something like this on their campus?
No, sir. That's what I'm here for today. I want to be able to do that, but I have spent a lot of funding at TAMU-C, and that's a big jump for me by myself.
Have you already spoken with our president about the idea, and would he be willing to help out?
Yes. I spoke with Dr. Rudin. He said what I'm doing is amazing, and if I wasn't at the campus already, he would definitely have me. And on Monday, he told me to implement this at other universities. I would probably have to speak to the Dean of Students. So on Monday, I have a meeting with Dr. Newsom to talk about how he would like me to address it when going to other universities and giving me insight on that as well.
Wonderful. Oh.
What was a big jump for you, Poca? I didn't understand that. Was it nervousness, or was it money, or what was it?
Going to other universities and asking other students, I have to take time away from commerce to go to other universities such as UNT or UTA. And I'm a full-time college student along with working full-time. I work 3 jobs at the university, so I can't just
but would you be at all nervous about going and talking?
No, sir.
Yeah, you don't need to be,
I'm
because
recruiting.
you're wonderful at this.
Thank you. I'm recruiting every day. We're in recruitment right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Poca.
All right. I don't need to go to IT because this is confusing me.
This is Dallas. Also, Ryan. I call her Dallas.
Hello, y'all can hear me? I'm gonna just hold it. Good evening, my name is Ryan Clay, and I am the founder of Ebony Essentials. Ebony Essentials is 100% organic, paraben-free, and alcohol-free skincare line. For the majority of my life, I've been taunted and teased about my acne-prone skin and my severe discoloration. And I use everything from scrubs to gels to medicated creams, but everything had a major downside. Scrubs, they contain microbeads that cause micro tears in your skin, which makes you more susceptible to acne. The gels, they contained alcohols, which dry out your skin. And I have dry skin, and so using something that dries out my skin even more definitely does not help. And as far as medicated creams, they cause surface level allergic reactions. So it's like all of these dermatology recommended products were causing more harm than good. And then after speaking with friends and family, I realized that I wasn't the only one that the skincare industry let down. So I did research and started formulating my own products, and thus Ebony Essentials was born. Did you know that that skincare is the largest sector in the beauty industry? In 2016, an analysis was released saying that the organic beauty industry would reach $22 billion by 2025. As of today, it's a whopping $36 billion. Although this is a billion-dollar industry, it's only dominated by 4 companies. And those 4 companies, 63% of their products use those harmful alcohols and also parabens. Parabens have been linked to breast cancer for women, and also they have been linked to cystic acne as well. And so I'm looking to be the fifth, except with legit, be 100% and not be 100%. So I am here asking for $35,000 to attend 2 conferences. $3,500. $3,500, y'all, not thousand. $3,500, just 2 zeros. But I'm asking for $3,500 to attend 2 conventions. One is the Cosmo Proof Convention in Las Vegas. It will be held June 30th through July 3rd. It's the largest beauty convention in the world, and there I will be able to establish relationships with other beauty executives, and as well as look at different competitions. The other convention will be the Natural Products Expo. It will be held March 2020. And there I will be able to select vendors at this expo and also acquire more natural products. And I would love for you guys to be a part of unearthing this billion-dollar gold mine. Thank you.
Wonderful job. Does anybody have questions for her?
Not all at once.
My question really is your product, right? Say, for instance, we spoke about it, so you know how are we gonna make it last longer than average?
Okay, so I've already started making these products, and I've already started selling to a few family and friends. A way that I've used to preserve these products using aloe vera gel. It's very natural and it comes straight from the plant. All I would do is mix it with the formula that I already have, and it lasts up to 7 months.
You indicate you're already selling these products. What products are they?
So I have a detoxifying mask. So as I mentioned earlier, that a lot of the scrubs out there, they contain microbeads or they contain like almonds, which cause micro tears in your skin. With this detoxifying mask, there aren't any scrubs. All you do is put it on your face, let it dry, wash it off, and your skin, you'll be looking like a brand new person. It removes all the dead skin off your skin, and it also moisturizes at the same time.
And you make this in your home?
Yes, in my dorm room.
What's the cost for this?
So because I had a vendor, but they ran off with $350. Yeah. So just making, so the biggest jar that I have is approximately this big, and just making that on its own cost me $12 just for that one thing. So that's why going to the Natural Expo would be great, so I can get that in bulk, but for cheaper.
Anybody else? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And you already know Storm.
Mic check. Wonderful. All right. My name is Vida Robertson, and I'm a co-founder of Day One. My fellow co-founders are Priscilla Clark, Emily Jennings, and Garrett Talent. Day One is founded to attack the problem of generational and systematic poverty in the Commerce area. So if you don't know, Commerce has a poverty rate of 45% and a food insecurity rate of 20%. And I want to say that again because that should be striking. That means nearly half of the population lives below the poverty line, and 1 out of every 5 don't know if they're going to eat today. What makes this story sadder is that these are the same people that are victims of predatory lending in our community. They will get payday and title loans, sometimes with an ARP up to 300%, and I said that statistic correct. That means that their loans increase 300% per year, and that's insane. Day One is founded and with the goal in mind of breaking these habits, these habits that keep them trapped in this poverty. We want to break this system, this cycle of bad financial decisions. And we want to do this with a three-prong attack. One, meet their immediate need. No one can worry about money if they're hungry. So we want to bring in nourishing food into the community, and we want to give it out to people in need in a dignified way, because that is a major problem with food banks. Step two, we meet their immediate future. They need to know that a 300% loan, that is not a loan. That's a prison, and one that you're never meant to get out of. So we want to provide financial literacy courses and hopefully get the TAMU-C staff involved, because we have an amazing finance department and accounting department. Step three, we want to break the system of generational poverty, and the best way to do that is to make sure the next generation doesn't end up in poverty. And we want to do this by talking to the children at Commerce ISD schools and tell them that your time at school, that's not a prison. People aren't trying to lock you up in school. That is your chance to prepare for a better future, right? That the government is paying federally funded time for you to prepare for a better future. So if you don't like your circumstance, that is the time where you can become something better. And you need to take advantage of every second of that. So I come to you today to ask you to help us finalize this product, get our system together. We're asking for $1,000 to do two things. One, we want to go to the best food pantries in the state and figure out how they develop supply lines and channels that allow them to continue to have good food, nourishing food to give to their communities, and give it to them in a way that allows the people in need to retain their dignity as a human. And step two, I want to take my team back home to Houston with me, because you see, the model I just presented to you, that's not something I pulled out of the air. This is a system that has been perfected over years back at home in Houston with my family. You see, for the last 10 years, my family has put in place one much like Day One in the 3rd Ward of Houston, and we are seeing beautiful fruits from that effort. So I come to you today to ask you to help us keep people from saying, man, one day I'm gonna get my money right. One day, my kids aren't gonna have to worry about if they're gonna eat today. Day One is constructed in a way to keep people from saying one day and help them start at day one. Thank you.
Wow. Does anybody have questions for Storm?
Your team, everybody is a student, right?
Yes, sir.
So what happens to this nonprofit when you all graduate and you guys need to get a job and all that?
Yes, sir. Well, luckily, the university has been generous enough to put together a system that allows people who are passionate about things come together and continue. So I'm hoping to pass this project on to other students who are also passionate about the institutional poverty and commerce through the College of Innovation and Design and through the Aurora Initiative to keep this alive in the university and helping the community.
And how many people do you plan to feed based on your survey of your commerce area?
So again, 20% of the population, and the last census I was taking was at 8,000. So you can imagine that's a pretty large amount. But what I learned back in Houston is that when we started in 2010, we were handing out maybe 25 bags of food a day, which isn't a lot. But over the last 10 years, we're now distributing 350 bags a day, not by us helping them, but by trying to create a system of good in the community, that it's we together are helping each other. So we don't make the bags to give to people. The community comes in and they make the bags to give to the community because the community wants to help each other. So I know that it's not going to start big, but I know that it can grow to exponential heights.
No, the example of the numbers that you gave, those are for the Houston market?
No, that's of the commerce market. 8,000 people, 20% poverty rate in 2017.
No, the bags, the 350.
Oh, the bags, yes, sir. That's the model we put in place in Houston.
Does anybody else have questions? Aha.
Storm, have you had a chance to look at some of the organizations that are currently in commerce in Hunt County to see which ones maybe you can piggyback on?
Yes, sir. And that was a wonderful part of the networking event that we did last time. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and I've been in contact with a lot of wonderful people. And there's a lot of resources there to help people in commerce, but a big problem is distribution. And again, I think it is this problem that we saw in Houston, right? That these people, first, it needs to be in a dignified way, because the big problem with nonprofits is that it's us and them, and it takes away, right? When you become a dichotomy, it takes away humanity. But yes, I've already been putting together a resource list in a way and trying to be able to distribute that information to the people in the commerce community.
Anybody else? Thank you, Storm. Next up, Martine.
Hello? Working? Yes. Okay. It's working? Yes? Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone. My name is Martín Figueroa. I was born and raised in Santiago, Chile. I lived there for 16 years, and I competed in many regional and international calisthenics competitions. For those who don't know what that is, it's a sport like gymnastics that is becoming just popular around the world. In fact, I have also been involved in the fitness industry, both as an athlete and a personal trainer for 6 years. But when I came to America, I realized something. I realized the unhealthy habits and lifestyle that people have here, including athletes. And it was quite surprising, so I started researching. And what I have found is quite scary. For example, that last year over 700,000 people died due to poor nutrition, or that over 3.3 million people died last year due to lack of physical inactivity. And for me, this is scary because I'm involved in this. And this is why currently I'm studying nutrition and neuroscience to further understand this. And my research so far, I have found, I think, what I believe are the four main things why the fitness and the nutrition industry are failing when addressing the obesity problem in America. One, they're lacking health education. We don't teach people really about health education or kids or adults. Second, lack of accountability. And I think most importantly, we ignore neuropsychological concepts such as the chemistry of food seduction, which affects 1 million people. And secondly, the correlation between the conflict that people have between their conscious and subconscious mind when addressing and we're trying to decide for a healthier option for their life. Tonight, I'm not here to ask you for money because I don't have a solution yet. However, I'm here to ask you for your knowledge, your experience, your insights, and your connections so you can help me further understand this and in the future, eventually, come up with a solution. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Yes.
Wait. Almost there.
I really don't have a question. I just wanted to see you run across the room. No. Actually, you started out by talking about being from Chile.
Correct.
And how different that is there. What is it that they do differently about nutrition in Chile than we do in the U.S.?
So interestingly, a few months ago, a report came out that Chile has actually more obesity than the United States. However, I lived in a small town where it was a community, and my family always provided me the food, the good nutrition, and the opportunities to have a healthier life. So I guess for me, what was the shocking part from coming here, that I was in a small community. And I moved here, which it was a small community too, but they had terrible habits in terms of food and fitness. That is why.
Anybody else? Okie dokie. Thank you,
Thank you.
Martine. Next up, we have our friend Anthony.
Howdy, can everyone hear me? Fantastic. Good evening. My name is Anthony Ferati. Can you all still hear me? All right, fantastic. My name is Anthony Ferati, and I believe that communication, collaboration, and dedication are essential professional and life skills every young adult needs. But I'm not sure if y'all have spent any time around high schoolers lately, but I don't think that the vast majority of the 3.7 million of them that graduate a year are learning these skills. But what if I told you that by participating in marching band, they can practice these skills? Well, as a matter of fact, the academic community would agree with me that students who participate in marching band actually end up more secure and successful young adults. But I didn't need to read this in a book or read this in a journal. I lived it. The skills I learned from marching band in high school helped me achieve a full ride to college, which in turn allowed me the financial freedom to overcome the financial barriers to march this thing called Drum Corps International, or DCI. It is the professional iteration of marching band, and those summers I spent changed my life. I came out of those summers more dedicated, focused, and disciplined. But my time performing is over. But I actually teach high schoolers now, which is fantastic. I see so much potential in them every day I work with them. But there's this feeling every time that when they leave those halls, most of that's going to be wasted. Only because they've never had the opportunity to experience life outside their small social bubbles. So to try and fix this, my team and I went and talked to the students, their teachers, directors, counselors, and local business owners in their communities to figure out how to develop a program to bridge these skills being practiced hours on a day on the marching field into the real world. And through that, we've created the Performers Among Us. We have buttons. It's a nonprofit organization that helps students overcome these financial barriers to march DCI, and through mentorship and a fundraising project, develop agency, an opportunity to change their lives, and practical life skills. But we need your help. We're asking for $3,500 to attend Cause Camp. It is a leadership, marketing, and fundraising conference for young nonprofits. And this is doable. With your help, we can raise these performers among us into better people and members of our society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Questions? All right. Oh, Dr. Hayek, oh no.
Oh no. Anyone, my mic's broken, I'm sorry.
So besides teaching, kids how to march, what else are you teaching them? I don't get it.
As someone who's been in marching band for so long, probably the biggest thing, just for one, is time management. As someone who is taking classes, working 2 jobs, and a part of several clubs and teaching, it's really hard to do all of that with only 24 hours in a day. But through marching band, I was really able to practice making sure I got to block on time, making sure I was making the most of the 2 hours of free time we had during the summers each day.
And you plan on teaching them anything outside of the marching band portion of it?
Yes, so how our program is set up, we're essentially having like a multi-tiered mentorship program. So on one hand, they're working with a college student to help prepare them for their immediate next step in life, being college. And on the second level, we are bringing in what we're calling executive mentors, professionals in the community who could talk to them about things as pertinent as personal finance or personal health.
Wonderful answer. Other questions? All right, if not, let's thank Anthony.
Okay.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. President himself, D. All right.
Can you guys hear me all right? A little higher, maybe? There we go. Good evening, you guys. My name is Demarie Heath. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that gym shirt you like to wear right before you go and work out. Imagine the smell of that gym shirt after only one workout. Now imagine the smell of that same gym shirt if you could never wash it. Whew! It smells pretty bad, doesn't it? Makes your nose cringe just a little bit, and if you hold on to it too long, it might just stick to your skin. This is a very big problem in the athletic field. 48 million athletes in some of our most popular sports today face a very similar problem. Regardless if that athlete is a football player on the field, a baseball player on the diamond, a hockey player on the ice, or even a golfer on the green, these athletes all have to deal with terribly stinky gloves after only a few wears. And there is zero way right now on the market for these athletes to be able to clean their gloves. Washing machines aren't made for athletic gloves. Washing machines damage, shrink, and rip athletic glove material. So an athlete has to deal with these foul odors on their gloves all the time. Well, not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you today C3, the first ever athletic glove cleaner of its kind that protects the integrity of the glove's fabric. C3 is a revolutionary three-step process that allows athletes to easily clean their gloves from the luxury of their own lockers. An athlete simply adds warm water, their stinky gloves, and our proprietary C3 tablets, allows the gloves to soak for 20 minutes, and then rinses and dries the gloves off. Our process is that easy. I'm here today seeking $4,000 in order to accomplish two things. The first $2,500 will go to editing and perfecting our C3 drying bin. The other $1,500 will go to sending me to the largest collegiate sporting convention in North America, the NCAA Collegiate Convention, home to the largest concentration of head college coaches and athletic program purchasers in North America. This convention will allow me to meet the leaders of innovation in the industry, as well as allow me to pitch my idea to athletic programs from across the nation. C3 believes in allowing its athletes to smell fresh and play fresher. And with your help, C3 will be one step closer to being the #1 glove cleaner for professional, collegiate, and high school athletes everywhere. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, G. As someone who played varsity football, dude, those locker rooms are disgusting. And the smell, it does come from the gloves. He's just definitely right. Can we have questions? Uh-oh.
So have you already developed the tablets?
Yes, sir, I have. This will actually be me entering into my third pilot for the C3 tablets. It started back when I was a junior in high school, and I realized that, wow, my gloves smell horrible. I can't even wash them because the washing machine destroys the stick on the glove, as well as makes me not even want to wear them. So I used to have to save my brand new football gloves only for Friday nights under the lights. After I realized that it worked on my gloves so well, I decided to clean my varsity team's gloves my whole entire senior year. It was really interesting because they liked it so much, the conveniency of me being in the locker room and me being able to clean their gloves for them. So this is my next step. My next step is basically to introduce it to the collegiate level. So we would be mass distributing our product to different, college, universities, and locker rooms across the United States. So they would basically be using our tablets and our bins within the top part of their locker in order to clean their gloves. Easy as that.
So what are you doing with the 3D printer? I know that you're trying some prototypes. What's that about?
Correct. So that's for the conveniency of the athlete. So one thing, when I was going through the process of cleaning my own gloves, I used to have 15 gloves on the floor with huge drying fins to make sure that I could get everybody's gloves dry and then get them back to the team before game day. And so I was like, why would I do that when I could possibly develop something that allows me to put the drying system within their own locker? So right now I'm developing a silicone foldable box that allows athletes to pop up a drying rack and place their gloves on top of these drying racks after they're done soaking. So the athlete can do everything in one-stop shop in the top of their locker.
What's the cost of each tablet?
The cost of each tablet, if we order 5,000 boxes from our distributor, is about 8 cents a box. For universities and high schools, it'll be about $15 a player for the first year. Every year after that will be $5 per player.
Wonderful answer. Further questions? All right, if not, let's thank Mr. President himself.
Thank you guys so much.
right. Well, thank you guys so much. It's really been a wonderful night. I'm sorry I did not introduce myself very thoroughly the first time. My name is Vida Storm Robertson. I am the treasurer for the Aurora Initiative.
My name is Alexandra Cox. I'm the vice president.
And really, we just want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for taking your time to listen to us, a bunch of, college students, talk about our passions and the plans we have to change the world and the value we want to create in it.
We would also like to thank Dr. Rudin for making this organization possible, and Dr. Hyatt and Dr. V for supporting us with our projects and bringing our projects to life.
We just wanted to remind you that there are forms on your tables, and it outlines all of the projects and everything, just a quick outline of what we spoke to today. And if you are so compelled to make a donation, you can write it down on that sheet. Also, we want to thank you just one more time. We hope that you enjoyed the great food and hopefully you had better company. And we want to introduce two alumni, two of us that have gone through this process and have made it out the other side. So we'd like to welcome up Andrew and Cody.
Yeah.
First, I just want to say thank you all for having us here. I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Rudin, our president, and for Dr. Hayek. Let's get one more round of applause for these students here who are doing such a fantastic job. Just a small correction, I haven't quite graduated yet. I'll be graduating in December. So I'd like to think that I'm evidence that the college does need a program like this to help set up a future for these bright young individuals here. One thing I'd like to say is y'all just keep working at it. It's gonna get hard, it's gonna get tough. When I have times of stress working this business, I like to think of what Kennedy said when he spoke about going to the moon. And we choose to go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. It's gonna get hard, but hang in there. Y'all are doing great.
Yeah, going off what Andrew said, I mean, there's so much possibility that you can gain from having gone through this program. You're gonna be able to, one of the best things that I've kind of enjoyed, I've had way too many side businesses in my life too many to count, but one of the great things about it, everything that you're learning in your normal day-to-day classes, you're gonna be able to use what you're learning in class and really take that and do it versus just reading about it. And that's a pretty important thing. I mean, it just continually builds on a resume, makes you look better, gives you new opportunities to network with people that you wouldn't have ever thought about being able to network with. I mean, we've kind of stumbled into a lot of dumb luck in a lot of our business, but it's every day's something new and just kind of keeps things interesting. But yeah, thank y'all for having us here and just, good luck to y'all.
Tell us about your current business.
Oh, I guess we could do that. That'd probably be a good thing. Yeah. So we're the founders of Texas Sunrise Coffee Company. We deal in specialty coffee that's an Arabica blend. So our coffee's a little bit more expensive to produce, but the difference between our coffee and Folgers or Maxwell, whatever you can get at Walmart, our coffee is the beans that are used in it are more delicate. They're a little bit more difficult to create because of how the biology of the bean is. But yeah, so we're strictly an e-commerce company right now. We're hoping to be able to open up a shop in the next couple of years to really start expanding. Yeah, you got anything?
No, once again, just keep on keeping on. It's a day-by-day process is what it really is. We're new to this just like y'all. We're maybe a step ahead of y'all. It's not much. But if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Whether you just need someone to talk to, you need some advice, anything, we're always here. Thank y'all.
Let's give one more warm welcome to Cody and Andrew. All right, again, thank you guys so much. We want to give a very warm thank you to Atmos Energy for giving us a place to host this, and thank you guys so much for your hospitality and all that you've given and investing in us. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
if I were wanting to donate, do you take cash?
Dr. Hayek, do we take cash?
Seriously? Do you take credit cards?
I got cash.
I will find a way. Do you take PayPal?
Oh. Yes, we have.
There's an online link. It's easy to do.
If there isn't, I'll make one.
Yeah.
There is. How do we get there? I saw it the other day.
Sure. So it's on all the invitations, but you can go to Marketplace within the university website. Again, if you go back to the invitations, there's a link there. If you just click on it, it'll take you immediately there. Another way, if you wanted to give a check here, or cash, of course, you can. But if you want to pay by credit card, PayPal, etc., it's all on the link.
And who am I making the check to?
Venture College.
And where does the money go? And how is it protected from abuse?
That's an excellent question. So the whole idea.
Here's a microphone.
Give me a mic.
All right. So sorry, the truth is I didn't want to take away from the thunder of the kids. What we're trying to do is, obviously they're at very early stages of their projects, okay? Now, normally if you think of a Shark Tank type of event, they're selling equity in their companies. The students aren't at that stage yet, and they'll never have the opportunity to get to that stage if they don't have very little money to at least start, right? And so that's what we're trying to do. So what happens with the money? Where does it go? It goes to my bank account, Venture College, and then the whole idea is for me to administer that money for them in the spring semester. The objective is for them to come and ask me as they want to advance. So they say, you know what, it's time for me to go to this conference because I need to study the market, the competition, the demand, et cetera, et cetera. They'll be asking me for the funds. So I'll be managing those funds for them, right? Now, the whole idea is for them to be held accountable. So the logic is by the end of the spring semester, the objective is for them to have completed their study, their experimentation, their prototypes and whatnot, and have their product or service ready to be launched by next summer. So at the end of the spring semester, we're going to hold the Lions Innovation Showcase, okay? The idea is to make that university-wide. As a part of that initiative, all right, I want them to be able to do these same pitches, but for equity. But at that stage, notice that'll be really different. The pitch is completely different, right? Because now you're going to say, well, how much does it cost to do your prototype? Oh, now I did my research. Now I have a prototype. Now I know the numbers. Now I've gone and visited and did my market study, right? So then they'd be at a stage where they can finally say, you know what, yes. You know what, I need $20,000 for 50% equity in my company, and I want to start in summer, and I want to do this. Or if they're going to start a nonprofit organization, you know what, would you be willing to donate to this nonprofit? That's the dream. So if you're trying to, follow us, where are we trying to go with this? That's the logic. That's the progression. Okay? So this is the very start, and without this, I mean, let's be honest. If you know the situation, if you've heard many stats about the situation in commerce, right? There's lots of poverty. Many people don't have, the ability many times to buy a coat jacket. So how are they ever going to have the opportunity to do a prototype or to do research or to travel to Atlanta or to LA or have opportunities that other kids have? They'd never have that opportunity. And so you are their opportunity.
Is my donation tax deductible?
It is.
Good.
Checks should be made out to Texas A&M Commerce, TAMU-C, and then the memo line is Venture College.
Put foundation on the end of that, and that's the tax deductibility. Well, is it not going through the foundation?
It is.
To an excellent fund?
Yes.
Yes, that's how, it definitely needs to be TAMU-C foundation memo to, what you call it?
Venture College.
Yeah.
TAMU-C Foundation, memo line, Venture College.
Do you have any other questions as to what we're trying to accomplish, where we're trying to go, why we're doing what we're doing. Do you see it? Do you see it? I can see it, right? Again, this is our first semester, so we're still learning the ins and outs of this. I can assure you by next semester we'll have this down pat. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming. Thank you for the questions. Oh, there is a question.
It won't go to the live stream. So if I'm not able to make a decision today, is there a way for maybe like reach out to you and you can connect us to the respective teams to have like a follow-up questions and then do an A or nay instead of putting on spot?
Absolutely. And the idea is whether you donate or not today, okay, the whole idea is for them to follow up. So with the donors, the idea is for them to follow up regularly with those donors because I want them to be accountable to you as well. And that's why we're very specific. So if you want to donate, for example, $200 to one project, $300 to another, and so on and so forth, I want them to be able to reach out to you and tell you what they're doing with that money, what they've learned, so on and so forth. That's the idea. And yes, if you do want to contact them afterwards, whether it's just after this meeting or next week or whenever, yes, please feel free to do so. I mean, we meet weekly, so if you guys don't know what we're doing, we meet every Thursday from 6:30 to roughly 8:30. And what's amazing is these kids don't get academic credit for our meetings, right? So just let's understand the profile of the young people who are here. It's in here, right? That's what makes them unique. That's what makes them special. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I want to say something. You know, we all went to college, or most of us did, and we had professors that we didn't like because they didn't like us.
I hope I'm not that one.
And then we had those other professors that are kind of different. The next thing you know, we know them, talking to them after we're graduating, and they stay in our lives, and they help us until not only they die, but long after that, because they cared about us, He is one of those. And I know you students will believe me. When you're 75, you'll look back and say, that guy was right. Dr. Hayek wasn't like the rest of them. We're fortunate to have him. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's give one more thank you to Dr. Hayek. He really did not want to come up here. He really tried his best, but we pulled him out. All right. So please, again, thank you all for taking time out of your day. We know you're busy, and thank you for listening to us. Feel free. We have this room until 8:30. Feel free to stay, talk, ask us questions. We'd love to hear your feedback and what you thought about our projects. And just again, thank you again. We hope that you have a great night. Thank you.